I have a table with some existing data, and I decide that I want to add a new column to this table called bonus. So I'm just going to click on E and I'm just going to type bonus, and automatically you realize something. Automatically it picked up the color. Entire format has been picked up and the filter also got applied. As soon as I added one new name, bonus, Excel automatically creates this entire column for me with the formatting. ये पहला एक advantage है जो table में होता है. Second, I want to calculate the bonus based on the sales. So I want to apply a bonus of 0.02 of the sales. तो जनरली हम क्या करते हैं? जनरली हम लोग इधर टाइप करते हैं इक्वल्स टू B2 into 0.02. आ गया बोनस, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. और यहाँ जाके मैं बोलता override all the cells, तो ये मेरा ऑटोफिल हो. This would have been a general formula which we would apply to get our bonus. B2 into 0.02. Now, suppose आप यहां पे अप्लाई करते B8 into 0.02. Very good. It would work and it would apply the formula to all cells, whether down or up. You must have realized I purposely did it over here to show you that when you are applying a formula inside a table, you don't have to apply it at the beginning of the table. अगर ये same bonus column मेरा टेबल के बाहर होता, this bonus is outside the table. And if I would use the same concept of applying the formula, am I getting the option of adding the formula down? Sorry?
No, you are not getting.
I'm not getting it. कहाँ है? वो छोटा सा एक drawing था ऐसा, वो आ कहाँ रहा है? अब नहीं आ रहा. नहीं आ रहा है. तो एक चीज तो श्योर है that when I'm working inside a table, I get my formulas to automatically get applied to all the cells. And the second advantage I have, that I don't have to apply the formula at the beginning of my table. I could be anywhere in the table, any particular row. I'm on row number 10, for example, and I apply the formula over here instead of applying it to the first row. And when I go to this button, it allows me to apply it to all the remaining cells, whether they are up or down. This is a very important aspect when you're working in a table. We call this structured referencing. That means the reference that is being done for the cells is not only between B11 and 0.02, but once it's applied, it automatically helps me to apply it to all the remaining cells of the table. This is not possible if you don't have a table. That is why data being converted to table becomes again very important in case you are looking at applying formulas in your data. It makes it very easy and convenient to work with. Second, instead of 0.02 ये वो मुझे याद नहीं, I don't want to remember the cell names. क्योंकि गलती से अगर मैं समझो 0.02 के बदले यहाँ पे सॉरी गलती से B2 के बदले अगर B1 डाल दूं, ये ह्यूमन एरर होएगा ही होएगा. हो गया ना गड़बड़, गया मेरा आंसर. या गलती से इधर हूं मैं और इधर मैंने गलती से B10 डाल दिया और मैं जल्दी जल्दी में कर रहा हूं, मैं देख भी नहीं रहा हूं. B10 into 0.02 करके एंटर कर दिया, मुझे आंसर मिल गया. मैंने बोला अरे इट्स परफेक्ट यार, लेट्स जस्ट अप्लाई इट. मैंने अप्लाई कर दिया, हो गया ना एरर, अप्लाई हो गया. बट ये रॉन्ग है ना, ये B9 हो गया, ये B8 हो गया, ये B7 हो गया, ये B6 हो गया, एक एक नंबर चलता गया. ये B3 है, B2 है ही नहीं, B2 is gone out of the table. This is what we call as human errors in Excel, and this is a something which you have to कहीं ना कहीं घूम फिर के लाइफ में आपका ये ह्यूमन एरर होगा ही होगा. कभी ना कभी ये मिस्टेक होगा, सबसे होता है जल्दी जल्दी में जब करते हैं काम. हाँ भाई फॉर्मूला याद था, रो नंबर याद नहीं है तो डाल देगा वो, B8 के बदले B9 डाल देगा. अरे डाल दिया उसने, डाल दिया, मल्टीप्लाई कर दिया उसने 0.02. सर आई हैव डन इट, डन सर. सर आई एम अप्लाइंग इट टू ऑल, ये लो अप्लाई टू ऑल कर दिया, प्रिंट करके दे दिया, कहानी खत्म. यू हैव हैड इट. वन मिस्टेक and your entire data is wrong. Full is gone for a toss. To avoid these mistakes, again this is possible only in a table. Outside table possible nahi hai ye. Excel came up with a very simple concept. What do I want to multiply? I want to multiply the sales. End of the day, I have to multiply not B2, I have to multiply the sales to get my bonus. Sales is the entity with which we are multiplying 0.02. अब जब मैं एंटर करता हूं मुझे परफेक्ट आंसर मिल जाता है. तो जो अगर यहां पे भी करूंगा इक्वल्स टू, अब देखिए सो इजी इट इज फॉर मी. ब्रैकेट सेल्स ब्रैकेट क्लोज into 0.02 मिला आंसर, खत्म. नो स्कोप ऑफ ह्यूमन एरर. You can't go wrong because you are doing very simple. You're multiplying the sales with the amount of value that you have been told to multiply with. आपको बोला गया है 0.02 को मल्टीप्लाई करो जॉनसन के सेल्स के साथ, विलियम के सेल के साथ, ब्राउन के सेल्स के साथ. तो मैं ब्राउन और विलियम और जॉनसन का सेल क्यों देखूं, कोई मतलब ही नहीं है. जोन्स का B5 है, विलियम्स का B7 है, छोड़ो, सेल्स ले लो, मल्टीप्लाई कर दो 0.02 से एंड यू आर सॉर्टेड फॉर ऑल योर डेटा. हाँ, फैंटास्टिक नो. Any business or any company, when they are doing any sales, they obviously create a sales chart or a sales performance sheet. So this example which I'm giving you is, suppose there's a particular employee and he is doing sales for the company, and the company wants to understand what's the best that they can do. Or let's say even a department, forget just an employee, let's look at it to be a sales department. That, okay, this is the type of cars that are being manufactured by the company. These are the prices at which they're manufactured. This is the sales that they carry out. That means the number of units. Or we can rename this as unit sales. So it will make more sense. हाँ भाई ये particular car 1 का 12 units sell किया, इसका 15, इसका 21. And obviously the value is calculated based on the price and the unit. And we get a total sales. कि हाँ भाई this is the total sales that the company is achieving. Now the company decides to understand कि यार ठीक है, we want to understand that what will happen in the worst case scenario and the best case scenario. So like we know that the sales of a company, sales of a product is dependent on various factors, and one of them is the economic factors which revolve around us. So in Excel, we have something known as what if analysis, under which we can create a scenario summary. That means we can create something that doesn't exist based on our assumptions. If there is recession, if there is a very bad snack come into the business of automobiles, then what would be the minimum sales the sales department can achieve? And if there is a good time, what would be the maximum sales that could be achieved without changing the price of the car? We are looking at purely economic factors. So we are not going to touch the price of the car. The car price remains the same. Based on the scenario around you, what's the worst and the best performance? So we need to create that. So under data in Excel, we have got something known as what if analysis. Under what if analysis, we have got three options: scenario manager, goal seek, data table. Let's look at the first option known as scenario manager. So we say, okay, we're looking at the first option, scenario manager. And we get a window. Now I already created this. I'm just deleting it. So I've reached the scenario manager and I now have to define the best case and the worst case scenarios. So I say, okay, I want to add, and I give a scenario. Suppose worst case. So I'll just call this the worst case. They ask me what's going to be changing in analyzing your scenario. What's going to change is the unit, the number of cars that are going to be sold. And I say okay to it. So I created one scenario known as the worst case. This window has come up telling you, yes, please put the values that you think are going to be the values in your worst case. So the question will be asked to the sales department. Sales department gives the answer, says, okay, if it's worst case, there's recession, there is the economy of the country is gone for a toss and everything. I'm selling in normal scenario 12 cars. If it's worst case, I might be able to sell 8 cars. In car number 2, which is 15, I've been able to sell. In the worst case, let's say I'll be able to sell 9. In the third case, the car I'm selling is 21 number of cars. That's quite a bit of cars that I'm selling in normal terms. So in the worst case scenario, I should be able to sell at least 15 of them. In this case also, I would look at selling around worst case 50% down. I would be, or let's say 60% down. So I would put 7 cars in this case. And in this case, again, I would sell about 8 cars. So my worst case scenario based on our assumption would be this. That these are the number of cars I would sell. So I created my worst case scenario. Same way I go to add and I say, abhi mujhe best case scenario create karna hai. So I put best case in this case over here. Again, I've got changing cells C2 to C6. That's the same changing cells that I need. Now is the best case. Yeah, first class time and money is there in the market. What do you think? So I think, okay, instead of 12, I should be able to sell at least 16 cars. Instead of 15, I should be able to sell at least 21. Instead of 21, I should be able to sell at least 27. Instead of 12, again, I should be able to sell at least 16. Instead of 15, I should be able to sell at least 21 cars. This becomes my best case scenario. And I say okay to it. So I created my 2 scenarios, the worst case and the best case. And now I need to generate a report. So over here, there's an option known as summary. I'm going to click on summary and he says, okay, we are creating a scenario summary for you. And what's the resulting sell? What is going to be the most important factor? And very clearly, it is the total sales. End of the day, that's what we are trying to analyze. And I say, okay to it. And there you go. A fresh sheet is getting created with a scenario. Here it is, giving us the total value of sales in the current worst and best case scenario. This is how data can be analyzed based on certain assumptions that the company feels would be the case in case of their business. Suppose I've got a car which is of 7,50,000 that I intend to buy. Example there. It can be used, this can be again used for various ways. This is one of the ways we apply this. Available funds are 2 lakhs. So the loan which I will be requiring is based on a formula again. So इसमें formula नहीं है, इसमें formula नहीं है, इसमें formula है. Where the price of the car is subtracted from the funds that I have. उसके बाद interest. Interest के बाद duration, how many years? Again, the years are divided into months because we pay EMIs monthly. So I purposely create this month car column, which is B5 into 12. ये मेरा years है into 12, तो मुझे months मिल गया. And the EMI calculation is based on a PMT formula. There's a very famous formula known as PMT in Excel to calculate EMIs. The PMT formula is basically based on this particular method, where first we have the rate. So to get the rate, I'm going to divide it by 12 because I need monthly rates. Then is NPR. NPER is nothing but the duration for how long is the loan. Again, the NPER, I'm taking the months and not the years. Then is PV, which is the present value. That means nothing but the value of loan that I'm taking. Future value is, are you going to be able to pay the full loan or no? So I put 0 because I say yes. I don't want to leave any money behind. I don't want the loan to get carried forward. The loan is going to be fully paid. So that's why there is a 0 for future value. And I say, okay. And I get my EMI. Now, this example is interesting because here I want to understand my capacity. Tomorrow, suppose you say, yes, I can pay an EMI of only 17,000 rupees. Or let's say I can pay an EMI of only 15,000 rupees a month. I cannot pay 18,136. I can pay only 15,000 rupees a month. So how do I get that valuation? How do I get that value? That means based on that analysis, I want to know the price of my car. As simple as that. अगर मैं 15,000 रुपया महीना भरने को तैयार हूं 36 months के लिए, रेट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट भी सेम है, मेरा फंड 2 लाख रुपया है, how much or what value car can I afford? So again, I go under data validation, under what if analysis, and I choose goal seek. Goal seek is nothing but trying to understand based on your EMI, how can you get the value of the car? So the set cell is B7, that is the EMI cell. Value is how much? And I say, okay, minus 15,000. Why minus 15,000? Because the money is going out from my bank. And what's going to change? That means if I'm going to pay 15,000 rupees a month, what's going to change? I say the price of the car is going to change. That is cell B1. And I click OK. And there you have it. If I'm paying 15,000 rupees EMI with the same duration, with the same amount of funds, 2 lakh rupees I have, my loan amount will change to 4,54,876. And my valuation of the car, which I can afford, will be 6,54,876. This is how we can calculate how we can afford to have a car based on the EMIs that I'm willing to pay. This is again the third type of what if analysis. Again, very interesting aspect of Excel. So here, the company says, fine, we have got the EMI and everything. But what if I want to calculate EMIs of different types of cars? यहाँ पे एक particular price है कार का. If I create a small little data entry thing over here, and here I've got various different types of cars which are currently there in the market. I've got these 2-3 types of cars which are there in the market. And I want all the EMIs to get calculated automatically for all these cars also. That means tomorrow, if I suppose I want to buy this car, I should know the EMI. I want to buy this car, I should know the EMI I have to pay. The EMI which is going to come here is totally based on this calculation, because this is the current situation in which I have got my approvals for EMI to be done from the bank. यहाँ by 11.5% पे होगा, 3 साल का लोन आपको मिलेगा, 36 months हो गया, वो आपके पास 2 लाख रुपया है, 6 लाख रुपए का लोन लेना पड़ेगा अगर आपको 8 लाख की कार लेनी है. So what I'm going to do here is, the first step for me is I have to create a link between this data and this data. This is one data and this is the other set of data. I have to link them, somehow connect them together. Otherwise, how will I get my calculation? So I'm going to put over here equals to B7. What I've done is I've picked up the formula and put it here. This was the formula. By just me giving a reference of B7, I've successfully pulled this data over here in this table. Now I'm going to select this table. Why? Because I'm concerned with getting EMIs on this table. So what am I going to do after I've selected this? I am going to go into my data analysis or what if analysis and go into data table. Here is asking me a question. कि रो इनपुट सेल कॉलम इनपुट सेल है, अभी रो इनपुट सेल में क्या चाहिए, कॉलम इनपुट सेल में क्या चाहिए. Now, first of all, is my data in column or is in row? That's the first thing which comes to the mind. All the prices of the cars are in a column D. That means I'm looking at column input cell. So my column input cell is linked to cell B1 because that's the price of the car. There you go. You can see all the EMIs have come. See how amazing it is. Now, tomorrow if I feel there's a new car which is coming, and I say, "Arey yaar, ye 625 ke badle I'm getting a better deal of 615. Mera EMI kitna hoga?" I just changed the price of the car. That's all I did. And watch, I get my EMI 13,685. This is how within seconds you can get valuation or EMIs of multiple values. Multiple products है, सबका EMI एक shot में मिल जाएगा मुझे. I have to just go on putting all the values that I want, and I will keep getting the EMI. That means if there is a value here, and if I drag this down, do I get the EMI? No, it doesn't work like that. You can't just go and drag it down. If I'm adding a new value here, I obviously have to go back to my what if analysis and data table because I've added a value here. Just choose this again and say okay to it. And there you go. I got my EMI. The same way I may want to do a calculation other way around. So what I do is ऐसे अब मुझे calculation अलग अलग तरीके से करना है. I want to calculate the EMIs for different duration. So that I can just do a comparison. How much is going to cost me if I have to take a loan for different durations, and I want EMIs of different values of product. देखिए वहां मजा आता है. मजा उधर आता है जब एक टाइम पे एक शॉट में आपको इतने सारे प्रोडक्ट्स के EMIs एक साथ मिल जाए. Then you enjoy it more. So what I will do this time is I will put the EMI value here, and under that EMI value, this time I'm going to put the prices of the cars. कि भाई मैंने एक कार ली, एक कार इतने का मिल रहा है, एक कार इतने का मिल रहा है. एक कार कितने का मिल रहा है. And I've got durations over here. कि हाँ भाई bank is giving me 36 months, 60 months, and giving me suppose 84 months. Bank is giving me these 3 months. इसका मैं सेल का वो चेंज कर देता हूँ and make it general. Yeah. अब मुझे चाहिए EMI. एक झटके में I want EMI for 36, 60 and 84 for all these products. एक साथ कैसे करेंगे? It's called two input data table. I select this table. I say चलो let's get our valuations. Here I've got row as well as column. Why? Because I put my data in such a way. मेरे रो में months है और मेरे कॉलम में प्राइस ऑफ कार है. As simple as that. My row has got months and my column has got price of the car. See how amazing it is. आ गया EMI. So now the fun starts. And tomorrow if the bank decides change the rate of interest, all the EMIs around here will going to change. See all my EMIs change. 36, 60, and 84.